Hello, this is Melissa, and this is an introduction video on how to create a QR code. I'm going to show you how to create a website QR code that will direct you to a website, and then also a text QR code to show you how to have text appear when you scan a code. QR codes are fantastic for the classroom. There are so many uses for them, and throughout this mini series that I'm putting up on the blog, we will progressively go through and I'll show you in this video how to create them and then the many ways that I use them within my classroom. So to start out with, I'm going to start right here and make sure that the website URL is clicked. That's the default, and that's the one I use most often when I'm creating the QR codes. I have a tab up here off screen, clicked or opened to front row. And I like to just go directly to the website that I'm wanting to make the QR code for, so that I can just copy the address right from the navigation bar at the top of the website so that I can make sure everything is correct. So just off of this camera screen here where you can't see, I've got that highlighted. I'm going to just copy with the shortcut on my keyboard and click back over to the QR code creator. And I didn't mention, but I'm using QR Stuff for this to show you. There are couple other creators. This is the one that I use most often. And then I'm just going to go here to this little bar and click in that bar and then just paste. Then you notice right over here, you might have seen that the code changed as I put in that URL. And you just want to look for that and make sure that changes so that whatever you had in there previously has changed over to the new code. Then you'll notice right here a color selector. You can select and have your code be any one of these colors, and it will change for you. The one caution that I have is that especially for the Windows type or Google type devices like Kindles and Chromebooks, I have iPads, Kindles, and Chromebooks in my classroom right now, and I find that the Kindles do okay most of the time with any color that I use pretty much. But the Kindles and Chromebooks have a harder time, especially the Chromebooks, with the lighter colored codes. You can be creative as you want with these codes. You could color coordinate say all of your math codes to be all the same color, or all of your reading codes, or if you want codes for a specific center. Sky's the limit here in how you want to organize and color code these QR codes. But just be aware that the lighter colors you may have more difficult time scanning, and you're always going to be safe going with black. So it takes just a second after clicking for that to change colors, and if you're familiar with color numbers, you can find all kinds of lists on the web and you can use those here, but pretty much if you just use the color scale here, you'll find the colors that you need. Now once that has changed over, you just need to download your code. Now there are a few types down here at the bottom that you can send it. For nearly every single purpose that I have, I just want the single code so that I can import it and put it in the document that I am creating. And so I can't think of a time ever that I've used any of these down here. The download button's here, but it's also just most convenient right here. And so this dark blue download QR code is what I click. And then off screen you can't see, but it has downloaded down to my lower bar within my browser, so I can see it down here at the bottom of my screen. And if I click on that, up comes the QR code within my photo application. And so there's my code. And now usually what I do is I just right click it right here within this photo editing application and I copy it. And once I have copied it, I can then paste it into any document that I would like to. In fact, let me bring one over for you to see. This is an example of a PowerPoint. I like to use PowerPoint a lot, especially in tables and things. I just find it easier to work with. But here is a document where I created cards for my students in their listening centers, and this will be a completely other tutorial, and I can talk more about how I created these and how to import them into the documents. But all I did was click within my document and use my paste shortcut, and that QR code that I just copied is now here. So this QR code, when scanned, will take students right to Front Row Math. And I have mine actually on cards just like this. They're titled Front Row at the top with this QR code, and students just grab it, scan it, and are taken directly to that website to work on their tablets or their Chromebooks. So that is a quick nutshell of how to create a QR code. And like I say, in future videos I'll go more in depth about how to create a document like this and show you how to do that. Now real quick, I'm going to show you, let me just move this out of the way, show you how to do a QR code with text. So I'm back here at QR Stuff. I'm going to go back over here to this number 1, to the data type, and I'm going to click on the plain text. And here it is. So I've clicked there. You'll see that this box changed a little bit. And here's a quick way where you can have the ability to input anything you want students to scan. You can use scan a question. So students scan the QR code, they get the question, and then they can answer it. A lot of teachers are using this option for self-checking, where you can type in a question or a math problem, say on your card or on a task card or something like that, and then insert a QR code that will reveal the answer for students to self-check themselves. So in this text box, I could perhaps say the answer to a math problem is 46. And then you saw again that code changed, and when someone scans this code, instead of a URL popping up and having you direct to the URL, just that text of 46 will now pop up. So really the sky's the limit. You can use your creativity in any way, and I would really say that either directing to a website or this plain text option are the two options that I really have only used QR codes for. Most of these other options are URLs anyway, and I don't see too many of these other options really being used in the classroom. You could link to a YouTube video. I do link to YouTube videos, but I just do it as a website URL. So if you have any questions, you can sure email me, and please look for the following posts that are coming up in the next few weeks to continue and expand this tutorial